I mean, how dare you? No, I don't have anything against women's basketball. A lot of people misinterpreted, my commentary and my real thoughts and opinions about the WNBA over the last 15 years. It's not hating against women. I mean, hell, I gave the women their own day, Woman Wednesday. It's not. It's a simple fact. It may not sound politically correct in 2017. It's a real opinion. It's an unbiased opinion. It's not throwing shade or hate on anybody. I love women. My mama a woman, my wife a woman. I got 3 daughters. I love women. I do. I just don't like watching the WNBA because I think it's boring. I think it's 100 times slower and more methodical than what I've been used to watching my entire life, the NBA. NBA, WNBA. There's no comparison. Simple as that. I'm sorry. That's just real. And that's not hating on anybody. That's just real. From the 47th problem, the fan base are gay women. I bought a block of tickets for the Dream, and I have never seen so many female gay couples. It was interesting. I had a bunch of questions from my kids that night. Yeah, I didn't get a bunch. When I took my daughter to the game, man, I didn't get a bunch of questions from my daughter. I think my daughter's kind of like one of those shy kids where she's not going to ask something that's kind of embarrassing. But I caught her like looking around, observing like Kara couldn't put her finger on it. But I caught her several times that night looking around like, there's something going on here. Right. I was an 8-year-old kid because this was several years ago. Let's see, she's 13 now. This was probably like 4 or 5 years ago. As an 8, 9-year-old, I could tell that she was looking around. She was very curious about what was going on to the left of her, to the right of her, in front of her, behind her, and how something just wasn't adding up. But she didn't say anything to me, and I didn't say anything. But, yeah, I expected to get a question or two after we left. It didn't happen, though. I'm telling you. You go to a WNBA game, and it's so obvious, like it's glaring. That's why I don't have any reservation about believing what Candace Wiggins is saying about 98% of the league. I'm not going to doubt her. I've been to a WNBA game, okay? I would say 98% of the fan base that was at the game that night, I'm not going to go 98% like Candace Wiggins, but I'll say the vast majority, of the fan base that attended the game that I attended, man, was gay. Not that there's anything wrong with that. There's places heterosexual people hang out at that gay people don't. So why can't gay people have places they hang out to and sexual and heterosexual people not? That's fine. This is America. I want to make sure for the record. I want to make sure for the record. That's fine. Okay, that's fine. From Sidney Jackson, because all the women in there were dressed like lumberjacks. Come on, man. From Sin Lake Show. Come on, Thorny. Don't bring up the Lakers. What did Thorny say about the Lakers? From Cornelia Small, didn't Swoop switch sides after she had been married? Did they turn her too? I'm not sure. I can't remember how the chronological order of that thing was. Cheryl Swoops, I can't remember if she was gay and then she said that she wasn't gay, or if she was gay first and then said or wasn't gay first and then said she was gay. I don't know. From Cornelia Small, y'all telling me if my girl is in the NBA right now, she is a be-bought gay? I don't know what that means. Well, based on Candace Wiggins, if there are 100 WNBA players, 98 of them are gay. Only 2 of them. That's a very small percentage, obviously. From Clay Magic Bike Davis, I love women, especially black women. I agree. I sign off on that. I co-sign. From Andre Elam, I like women track and field better than men track and field most of the time, more competitive. I'm not going to say I like one more than the other, but yeah, that's a great point in talking about how, in my opinion, is where I don't like the WNBA in comparison to the NBA. In track and field, and maybe it's because my daughter runs, but in track and field, I know I've always thought this. Like, it was always just as good, or I was just as interested in watching women track and field, especially, the sprint races or whatever. It's always just as interesting to watch women in track and field than men. Right. And that's a great example. Even tennis. We can talk about tennis, especially with the domination of the women's, the Williams sisters. Now, I'm not the biggest tennis fan in the world, but in relative terms to the men, if you're talking about women, they're on the same level to me. The fact that they're women and they're men has nothing to do with whether I watch a tennis match or not. Now, again, I'm not the biggest tennis fan in the world, but I wouldn't turn on the TV and say I'm going to watch men's tennis because I like watching men play tennis more than I do women. It doesn't. So those are two great examples. Thank you, Andre Elam. From Angry Black Man in the chat room, I hope he's got his shit together. Stop trying to tell me how to run my show. Nobody's scared of you, Jack, because your name Angry Black Man. Just remember that. He says, when WNBA coach Pokey Chapman was at LSU as the head coach, she was doing her player Simone Augustus. I think I do remember that story. From Gary G. Money Joyner, Swoop went back to men again, but she may decide to get back with, I think this is a derogatory term for gay people, so I'm not going to say the word. From the 47 Problem, how you doing, Denise? You're quiet today. Wait a minute, where's Denise at? Denise Milk and Cookies in the chat room on Spreaker.com. She usually has, there she goes. Denise Milk and Cookies. Thank you. Thank you, Denise Milk and Cookies, for the profile pic. Oh, thank you, Tiffany, for the profile pic today. Tiffany, Tiffany Sports and Heels. Yeah. Nothing really titillating. Just a pretty face. All of the Stewettes are pretty. Shouts out to all the Stewettes. Y'all got me all wrong. Y'all got me all wrong. I'm misunderstood from the ladies a lot of times. Hey, Tiffany. Tiffany Sports and Heels says, Cedric, exactly. That number was for shock and awe, and you playing into people's perception and also get people to read her book to get juicy details. A lot of this might be embellishment where she's trying to get people to buy her book. And if I were to guess, if you put a gun to my head and made me tell you my real opinion on whether I think 98% is accurate, that just seems awful high. Right, because, we know WNBA players, get it out. We know of WNBA players that are married, to men. I don't know that many, like off the top of my head. What's her name that was she was just on the NBA All-Star Game Challenge this past weekend. One of the chicks from Tennessee, but she is married to Sheldon Williams. So I don't know. I don't know the number. I would say though, if I had to guess, I would say 98% is accurate. That can't be. Now, even if 98% isn't accurate, if it's 80%. That's still a lot in relative terms. If it's 75%, hell, if it's 50-50, that's a lot. But I would agree with you, Tiffany. Once again, I want to make sure that you understand that I'm on your side, Tiffany, okay? $98 seems excessive. 98% seems over the top. That does seem, a little high. From Rough Buff X Squad, you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Reggie Miller's sister had to resign from USC for messing with players she was coaching. Cheryl Miller? Cheryl Miller was fired because she was messing with players? So let me give you a backstory on that comment just now. If you're new to the Doug Stewart Show, but I've been going back and watching all of the episodes of the Cleveland Show. Of the Cleveland Show. And the main character, Cleveland, I guess it's supposed to be some type of black person stereotype. The writers for that show, they mix and mingle all of the black people stereotypes in the show. A lot of times they're funny. It's not serious, I don't think. I wouldn't say. But in the show, Cleveland all the time, a lot of times whenever something happens that's startling, he'll say, well, so-and-so did that. Supposedly supposed to be mimicking black people in general. So, yeah. Reggie Miller's sister Cheryl was messing with people on the team. I didn't know that. By the way, if you've never seen the Cleveland Show, man, trust me. Great TV. Go back and watch that, man, if you're trying to look for a show to watch. But Rough Buff says, Reggie Miller's sister had to resign from USC for messing with her players she was coaching. Word on the street, Lisa Leslie, star on the team at the time, was not going for it and threatened to go public. Not quite understanding the entire comment, but wow, I didn't know that. Once again, I don't pay attention to WNBA, storylines for the most part. I just don't. From 334 Bama Boy, Sheldon Williams and Candace Parker are no more. Oh, so I noticed that. When Candace Parker, she participated in the little, remember I was talking about how Reggie Miller and TNT were trying to give this $500,000 to cancer research in honor of Craig Sager, and they called all these players from the sideline to come participate and shoot this half-court shot, and they kept referring to Candace Parker as Candace Parker, as in Candace Parker in college before she was married to the slumlord Sheldon Williams. I was like, wait a minute, ain't her name Williams? So, right, I was like, wait a minute, isn't her name Williams? Didn't she marry the slumlord? That's what we called Sheldon Williams in Atlanta. He played for the Hawks. We called him the slumlord. And so that's it. So they're not together, so she went back to her name. Okay, yeah. I never understood why she married that absolute bum in the first place. I don't get it. Not Sheldon Williams the person. Sheldon Williams the basketball player was a bum. Yeah. Very interesting, man. Very interesting. This sounds like, and it seems like, it might have a long-term effects on the league. Once again, on the reputation, on the brand in general. We'll see. It may not be nothing. Nothing to see here. Move on. Maybe. I doubt it, though. When we get back, a little entertainment talk. Man, have you seen this videotape of Joey Porter assaulting somebody? Sham! 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 When we get back from the break, man, we'll get into it. Birthdays. Oh, yeah, we have confirmed later on in today's show, the Great Thorny Switch will come on. Yes, sir. Yeah. That's later on today. Don't go away. Back in 3 minutes, the Doug Stewart Show.
Know how I rock. I'm hip-hop. AKA your girl, D.Y. Fake rap, stand down and stay right there. This is street music, so it stays right here. Know how I rock. I'm hip-hop. AKA your girl, D.Y. Fake rap, stand down and stay right there. This is street music.
I touch it and it's blessed.
In walks the girl with her hair all woolly. Flow on, swole, the unexpected bully. I am not what you thought. Body suckers for sport and slaughter the ones I caught. Recorded and then report, yeah. I'm a star, but I rock my day-to-day, yeah. Just so you don't fear me when you see me try to play fair. My My abilities are my greatest advantage. On my worst days, delivery is very hard to manage. At your best, you don't even come close. Who